So let's start off operating round 2. As you can see, SFR is up, and this is where Medici just is going to go bonkers again. So SFR has 3 track points. As you can see, it's there. Not much really to do. I mean, it could try to connect to Naples, but I don't think it wants to. I think, if anything, it's just going to try to upgrade some whistle stops here. So, for example, do that for 2. And then he only has 1 track point left, and so he's gonna. We're just gonna put a city up here. So if there is ever a government there, that's just helping it along. And he has a 3+3 and a 2+2. So I think it's gonna be just like before. So. We can theoretically go all the way up to Paris for 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. Doesn't really gain us much, but so basically we've got 80, 100 for the 2+2, and then 120, 150 for the 3+3. So what did I say? 100 and 150. So that's 250. I think that's exactly the same as before. And yes, 250 just goes right into his pocket. But the bad news is the company doesn't get anything. But Medici just got a ton. Okay, L Company also only gets 3 track points. I don't think he wants to lay any of it, to be honest. He's going to help the government, and he will do that by putting this down like that. So that's 1, and then 2. So that's just helping the government out, but that's good help. And he'll forfeit his 3rd track point. Okay, so he has a 3+3, so it's a 60. Plus 40, plus 60, plus 30. Again, it's a 190. So 95 each. So he's going to take 100, put 5 back. And I'm assuming L can take 100. He doesn't have 5. So we'll put 10 back and take a 5. And look at L here. SFR, by the way, can't buy a train because he's not getting any money. 150. Oh, here we go. There it is. 100, 200, 25. 3 train for the L Company. And that is what I was worried about. That's the sign. We got to get moving. When they start affording it, we're in trouble because they're taking up the 3 trains that the major companies need. So next, after L is A. I don't think we have to worry about A, but A is going to do some upgrades. Just going to upgrade a whistle stop. And A, again, is just running for $100. I guess he could put a token in Paris, and he will. And that means he'll run for 110 instead of 100. So let me... So yeah, he's going to put a token in Paris. And so he runs for 110, so it's 55, 55, so 55 for A, and 55 for Medici. So Medici's got some serious money. but A does not. A is like nowhere close to buying a 3 train, but Medici knows that. He's just trying to get his stock value up before he cashes in on A. Okay, so A is done. Chin is up. Now, Chin is an interesting company. If I remember correctly, Chin did buy a 3 train last time, so he has a 3 and a 2, and he has 3 track points. So you can pretty much see Spain there. So he's going to, we're going to upgrade a whistle stop. Like so. And then we're going to finish the connection to Madrid. So there's 2 ways in now. That's just 3 points because he's still not a major. So what can he do for his run? Well, I mean, he can, that's 40. Madrid is 50, so that's 90. I just see one whistle stop for 110, or 100, I mean. So he's running for 100. So that's going to be what, 50-50? Well, how many shares of Chin does he own? Let's find out. Where is Chin? It's a De Gaulle company. So he owns 3 shares of Chin. You can see it way up there at the top. So that's a 75% ownership. So he gets $75 for himself, and then just $25 for Chin. And you know what? If some of you have good memory or paying attention, I really believe I did not do that correctly. I think I passed Chin out as a 10-share company the last time I ran them, and I'm not sure they would have had enough for this 3 train. And there they are. They have a 3 train. And so there might be a little bit of an asterisk next to that one, because I don't know if I paid attention to the fact that 75% of it is owned by him. So that means hardly any money would go to the company. But I just did a 2 train. Now I got to do a 3. So the 2 train would have been $80. No. The 2 train would have been $90. The 3 train would have been $140. So that's $230. And I think I calculated 100 before, so I'm going to just take 100 off. So 130 times 0.75. So $98 for De Gaulle. I gave the money to the wrong person. So I gave it to Tchaikovsky. Sorry about that. So $98 for De Gaulle. And $32 for the company. Yeah, I think Chin has a 3 train that it shouldn't have. We only bought 1 share of Chin, and it hasn't even gone major. I just find it a little hard to believe that he had that much money when you look at how much everybody else was struggling. But it is what it is. I'm going to just keep playing. I don't think De Gaulle's killing us in the winning department, so I'm not worried about it. Okay, so next is the C company, which could have chosen to go first, but I didn't think about it. I'm looking at track opportunities. Don't really see much. But he can at least help needs help. A government company, so we'll do 1, 2, 3. And it looks like we got 120 again. So that's pretty simple. 60 and 60. And the C company is at 170. So not enough for a 3 train. And that makes sense. If the C company has enough for a 3 train, usually it's game over. Now, had he beefed it up to 180 instead of 120 at the start of the game, he might have actually had enough for a 3 train. And that's one of the tricks I learned is if you're willing to beef up your miners to the 180 mark instead of 120, your miners can survive and buy a 3 train. But if everybody else does the same thing, somebody's getting screwed. There's just not enough 3 trains for everybody. Okay, there's only 20 of them, and there's 30 companies. So unless 10 companies do mergers, which I don't think has happened. So anyways, back to this. C is done. Now it's us. We're the D company. So what we're going to do is we're going to start plowing. So 1, 2, and since this is still partly ours, we're going to get a curve in there for 3. So that's a lot of money, but if you recall, we actually have this. So we're going to put those down, and so what that means is we go through for free. We don't have to pay anything, but if any other company wants to use that track and go through those mountains, they're going to have to pay. So this is going to be sort of like a little exclusive path for us until somebody gets some serious money out and is willing to pay it. With that said, I'm going to, the 3 track, that's his full track lay. And that's going to help us because when SB takes its turn, it can lay 6. And I don't think it's going to be able to get to here, but it can maybe get to here and then take the ferry. And that's what I'm banking on. 50 for Vienna, and then 60 for the Y city because I get to add a plus 20. So that's 110, and then 2 $10 whistle stops is 130. So I believe that's 65 each. So 50, 65 for us, and 50, 65 for our D company, which I still don't think is going to be enough, but let's check. 50, 100, 150, 60, 70, 85. It's so close, but not enough. All right, so the D company is not going to make it. We're going to have to merge it after this stock round. Okay, so D is done. K is next. K is the Trump company. He gets 3 track points. I honestly don't even see where he would spend them. So he's just going to run. And he has a 2+2, and that's it. So 40, 80, 90, 100. So 50 for Trump, 50 for K. But I believe K is going to buy a 3 train. 100, 200, 25 with plenty to spare. So 225, another 3 train goes to a miner. But you know what? K and L are the 2 companies that you would expect to be able to buy one. The third one is D. And D just hasn't been able to, but it's close. I think one more round would do it. If it was next to maybe Berlin, it would have done it because Berlin's got that extra $10. It's just little things like that. Okay. After that is F. That's our other one. And we're going to finally get into Berlin. So 1, 2. So what I did was I just laid this here, and F is finally in. So should F pay the $20 for a token? So here's what I'm going to do, and we do allow people to do it. I'm going to pay the $20 for a token, assuming I still have enough to buy a 3 train. So if I need this $20 to buy a 3 train, then I'm not going to buy a token this round. And so that's sort of the declaration you make, right? And we let people do that. I mean, you're basically letting us know you don't want to sit down and math it all out and waste our time. So let's just figure out how it lands, and then we'll retroactively put the token out there. So that's what we're doing in this situation. I honestly don't think I'm going to have enough for a 3 train, so that's the reason why I'm thinking we're going to put the token down, but let's figure it out. So it's going to be 60, 40, 100, 120. So $60 each. So 60 for us and 60 for him. And so if we come to him, I mean, that's 100, 150, 80, 95. So just not enough, but I'll pay the 20, and let's at least get the token out. So the F token is going to go out, and it'll be in Berlin. And on those same lines, maybe I should have put a D token out, but I just don't know where the D token would go. I'll put out a D token, and I guess I'll put it here in Vienna. It's the only place he's really connected to that's going to matter. He wasn't connected to Berlin when it was his turn. Okay, so we're done with F. Now it's M. And remember, M is up there. M is definitely not buying a 3 train. He spent all of his money just to put that token there. M can do a run for 60, 120. He's not even laying track. There's nothing. Well, I guess he could lay some track. He doesn't want to, though. That's only helping other people, which namely me. So he's not going to do that. M just made $60. M is at $120. And who owns M? De Gaulle does. So just making some change here. De Gaulle is finally up to $200 in cash. Medici, though, is sitting on 1, 2, 3, 400 and much more. So he's got at least $600. So it's very interesting. Very interesting how this is playing out. Okay, so we are done with the regionals, so now we go to RCP. So Trump is first. RCP is in great shape. He did want to buy a Port Authority token, and I don't think he can. Because if I look at RCP, it's a big mess of money. Actually, he can. So the thing is does RCP want to buy a North Seas token or a South Seas token? He may want to buy a South Seas token. Right now, if you bought a North Seas token, it would help him. But you can only own one or the other. You can't own both. And that's the trick. So in the long term, RCP may not want the North Seas token. Okay, so what RCP is going to do is pay 20 bucks. And he's putting his token over here where Chin is. Okay, and then he's going to see if he can buy a South Seas token. So let's do that. There's 50, 100, 10, 25. Just enough. All right, so Trump is being a little creative here, and he's playing a good game, to be quite honest. So, South Seas token for RCP, and RCP has a 3 train and a 2 train. So he's going to go 1 from Madrid here for 2. And then Constantinople for 3. He's doing an OE run. And then his 2 train is going to go from Madrid. Well, actually, he's just going to go from Portugal down to here for his 2 train. So, so let's do his 2 train first. So it's 40 for Portugal, 40 for the Casablanca, 20 for the whistle stop that's along the way, and then 10 for the other whistle stop. That's the 2+2 train. And then 50 for Madrid, 40 for the Chin City, and then he has this special lumber company there, whistle stop, and at Green Technology that's worth 20, and then 10 for one other whistle stop, and 10 for one other whistle stop. Okay, and then he's going to add Constantinople, which is not built up, but you can see there it's still worth 20 bucks. So he's going to get 20 bucks for Constantinople, and then the OE bonus this early in the game, I want to say is $30. Let me make sure. Yes, and you can see that there. Train phases 2 and 4 is $30, 5 and 6 is 60, 7 and 8 is 100. So we're going to add $30 for the OE bonus, and that's $290. And Trump owns 4 shares, so 29 times 4 is, he's getting 116, and the company is getting 174. So Trump is doing amazeballs with this. So 116 for Trump. Okay, so 116 for Trump, and then 174 for the company. And I'm noticing they have a $1 bill, so I'm going to give them 175. All right, so that happened, and RCP just did an OE run for 29. So it would get a 1, 2, 3 for the RE, and then the 29 gives it the 4th bump. So he's doing amazing, and right now he wants to buy a train from somebody, and he's looking around. He doesn't own Chin, he doesn't own SFR. MZA has no train at all, or MZA just has a 2 train there. It's at risk of rusting. So what he could do is he could buy the 2 train from MZA, and then MZA can take the 3 train from him. It's doable. It's just MZA would go backwards once on the stock board. What other companies does he own? Trump. He owns MIDI. which has a 3 train and 2 trains. Ooh, there you go. So he's going to buy... See, here's the thing. If he buys both of the two trains, I actually think Mitty's going to get to take a turn. And Mitty's going to make some amazing money. Because I don't think someone's buying a 4 train before Mitty goes. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy one of the 2 trains from Mitty. So just one of them is going to go over to RCP. And then we're going to just give them all of our money. RCP's gearing up to be a government. So Mitty's just got a bunch of money. So he can maybe buy another 3 train or whatever it is that he needs to do later in the game. So not bad. Not bad at all. The MZA's a little bit of a concern for him. Okay, next up is Lawnmower, who is probably not going to be doing an OE run this round. With 6 track points, Lawnmower doesn't even know where to place the track points. He's sort of confined in northern England there. He can't get into southern England yet, or into France even. So Lawnmower has a 3 train and a 2 train. He has to be really careful. He could put a token up in Scotland, and then his 3 train can get all the way up there. And I think that's what he has to do. But that's going to cost him $40. So it's a little bit pricey, but he does have the money. He easily had the money, in fact. All right, so for $40, he's going to put a token in Glasgow or Edinburgh, whatever that is, and let's get him his money. Okay, 60 for the Norwegian, 40 plus 60 for London, and then 30. Now, this is why I made multiple ways from London to there, because I basically came down and went into London this way. Now I'm going to start in London and go that way and do my other train. And so it's going to be very beneficial. The only bad thing is I don't have any whistle stops, but that's fine. So then I get to add 60 more for London and then 50 more for Birmingham. So that's a $300 run. For Lawnmower, that's very well done. So $30 a share times 3 shares, Wellington is getting $90. So we're going to take 100, put back 10, and then $30 for Medici, because he owns a share. And there's still 6 shares for Lawnmower. So $180 goes to Lawnmower, and he could theoretically, if he wants, buy another 3 train, but he doesn't want that. He knows that the 4 trains are going to be more expensive, and he's saving his money for the bigger trains. But he has enough money to buy a 3 train right now if he wanted. Now the other thing is he could buy a 3 train and then give it to one of his other companies. So I don't think Wellington has a company, though, that does not have a 3 train. So if I go look at Wellington's stuff, well, actually GSWR does not have a 3 train. So it is possible that he could use the Lawnmower money to help GSWR, but I don't think he's going to do that. Okay, so Lawnmower easily hit his number. GWR is going to easily hit his as well. Now he can upgrade track, even all the way down in France. And his only reason for doing so is because he's trying to get a path plowed to Constantinople. So I don't know. I think he's just going to hold tight right now. He's happy with things the way they are. So GSWR, or GWR I mean, has a 3 train and a 2 train as well. And he cannot go to Birmingham from London like Lawnmower did. So he can go 1, 2, 3 all the way to Paris from London through Lille, France. So that can be one way. So we can do 1, 2, 3 there, and then he can do 1, 2 to his starting city, but not necessarily get to Birmingham. Yeah, those are his only options. Okay, so let's see. We're going to do London to Lille to Paris, and there's only 2 whistle stops along the way for 170. Then we're going to do London to his crappy city, and then there are 2 whistle stops along that way. 28 a share is still pretty good. Not as good as lawnmower, but given his constraints, and he has 3 shares, so 28 times 3. Wellington just made 84 bucks. All right, this really helped Wellington. He was not doing so hot until this point. So, and then 7, the company makes 196. And I'm looking at the company money. Yes, I can give them 200, and they have $4 they can give back. Okay, so not quite enough to buy a 3 train, but that $200 is going to be very helpful, and so he's going to hold on to it. Okay, GWR definitely hit its number, and it goes up. So next is MIDI. So MIDI is 1 less train, right? Because they sold their 2 train, but that's fine. He still has a 3+3 and a 2+2. MIDI has the H company, so it can hit New York to here and then to wherever it wants to go. So his 2 train is going to go from New York to here and then along the straight path to these 2 whistle stops. Then the 3 train is going to go from New York to here. Well, no, he can't go to New York. All right, New York to there, all the way through to there for 3, and then here to there for 2. Let's do that. All right, so New York is 60 plus 40 plus 40, $20 whistle stop, and a $10 whistle stop. You know what? I'm going to do it the other way around. I'm going to do, this is sort of hard to do, New York to Portugal, and then I'm going to head all the way down to Casablanca. So that's 40 more. There is a $20 whistle stop, and then there's 2 other whistle stops along the way. So that gets us to 180. Then I'm going to do Portugal to wherever Chin is, and then I got a $20 whistle stop and then a $10 whistle stop along the way. There you go, 290 for MIDI. And it would have been even more if he had that 3rd train, but actually he would have been in a little bit of a pickle because he would have to figure out where that 3rd train would go. But he did also have a Paris run over there he could have done. So anyways, 29 a share. Trump owns 3 shares. So $87 for Trump. His Powell cash is shaping up. And MIDI gets 203. That's good money for MIDI. 200. I'm looking for MIDI on the board. I can give it 205. So I'll be right back. Just gonna go over candidate's money. Mitty could buy a 3 train. I don't think it wants to. Largely because Trump needs MZA to buy a 3 train. Now, it could buy a 3 train and then let MZA buy it from him. But Mitty's going to be Trump's power company, and so it doesn't hurt for him to stockpile some money for now. Okay, Mitty goes up. And Bell. Now, remember, Trump is the antagonist, so he does want to buy these trains up and make it melt. So the fact that MZA is one of the ones that could get hit, he may not care as much, but I don't know. It's not a good strategy. And there's still a lot of 3 trains left. So even if he buys one of them, I mean, look, there's a lot that needs to go. So it's Bell's turn. Let's look at Bell's situation. They have a 3 train, a 2 train, and another 2 train. So Bell has a lot going on. We're going to lay some track, and let's collect some money. So Bell's going to get 30 bucks. So 30 bucks for Bell. Let's not forget to do that. And of course, Bell's one of the ones that are far away. Bell does not have a lot of money at all. He's sitting on maybe $70. So he definitely spent everything he had, but he has a 3 train and 2 trains. So he's in great shape. He just laid 2 track points, and he still has 4 track points left. I think some upgrades are in order. I'm just upgrading some whistle stops here. Like so. You may not catch it real quick, but I upgraded this one and that one. Okay. So I have a 3 and a 2 and a 2. Now I am sitting in London there, so I could easily do a 2 either to Lille, France, or I can do actually a 2 to Lille, France, another 2 to GWR starting city. I can't go into Birmingham, remember, because I'm on the southern side of London. And then my 3 can go from Lille to Bell to Paris. Yeah, that's really good. So let's do that. All right, so 60 plus 30 plus 20 for one of the 2 trains, plus 60 plus 30 plus 60 plus 40. Lily is worth 40. And can I hit another whistle stop? No. That's 210. And then 40 plus 40 plus 50 plus 30 in whistle stops. That's 37 a share for Bell. Well done. So how much Bell does he own? He owns 3. So 3 times 37 is 111 for Mr. DeGaulle, who is now sitting with $600. And 37 times 7, 259 for Bell. And that's enough to buy another 3 train. Holy cow. He could do it. Does he want to? What else does DeGaulle own? He owns Plum. Has Plum gone yet? No. He owns Chin, who I think Chin cheated. Remember, we went through that. And he owns Bell. So, okay, he's going to take the money and be rich. I don't think he's going to buy a 4th train. I just really don't. Having 2-3 trains is nice. You can make some good money, but only in the short term, because as soon as the 3s melt, or as soon as the 2s melt, you're only allowed to have 3 trains total, and and they get expensive. And then when the 3 trains melt, then you're in trouble because you're holding on to 2 of them. But it's very interesting. Let's see who's next. Plum is gone, and now it's SFAI. SFAI has 6 track points. We're going to go ahead and lay that for 1. And we're just going to start upgrading stuff. So 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to just help the government out. If there's going to be a government, I think there will be. That's not it. That is it. So we're going to, it's 1. There you go. So there's 1 track point left, but that's good enough. So he has a 3 train and a 2 train. And I guess the significance of this is that he's blocked right now, right? He can't go through Rome. He could go through this port, even though he doesn't have a token there. But with the 3 train, he can go 1, 2, 3, and then with a 2, he can just hit any of those. He could also lay another token, even lay it here, and then, you know, at least get some whistle stops. I don't know. I mean, is that worth laying a token there? I guess, maybe. It gets you 20 extra bucks, but he's paying 20 bucks just to lay it. I'm going to leave it be. So, 3 cities for 40 each, so 120 plus 30 in whistle stops is 150, and then he's going to get 40 plus 30 for his 2 train, so 22 a share for SFAI, and I believe he owns half. No, he owns 6, so 22 times 6. Medici gets 132, and once again makes a fortune. And then the company gets $88. So 50. That goes to, who is this again? See, I'm really tired. I forgot who I'm playing as. SFAI. Okay, so SFAI actually has some decent money. He could buy another train, but he already has nowhere to run with it as it is. SFR, on the other hand, needs the train. So, anyways, moving on. SFAI hit his number. Plum, this is it. Plum needs to do an OE run now. and I think I said that I missed it because Plum doesn't have enough money to buy. Oh no, he does. He does. Look at this. Plum. No, he doesn't. 50, 100, 10, 20. He's $5 short. He needs to buy a Port Authority token for 125. That's brutal. So then what we need to do is we need to get creative. Plum has track points. Okay? So let's look at the situation, and I think I found it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow. Yeah, 6 track points. Wow. I think I'm going to pull this off, but just barely. So bear with me and I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to upgrade this for 2. Like so. And then I'm going to upgrade this for 4. And then I'm going to do 5. 6. So it's a $30 track, but I get $40 in profit, or $40 in revenue. So I get a net profit of 10. So with that extra $10, I now have enough to go 50, 100, 10, 20, 5 for a Port Authority token. How about that for shenanigans? Holy cow. That was every single track point and $6 to spare. So Plum was able to buy a South Seas token by the skin of his chinny chin chin there. So why do all that? I have a 3 + 3 and a 2 + 2. And you're going to see it right now because for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is canceled by that token. Or no, I don't have a token there. Oh no! I need a token there. Well, you know what? I have an extra train spot. So 2 of these are going to be canceled from the token I bought. This is the one that's eating me up. But I have a 3 + 3 and a 2 + 2, so I have a 5 + 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. Okay, so 50 + 40 + 40 + 20 plus the $30 Constantinople bonus plus how many whistle stops? 1, 2, 3. I count 30 in whistle stops. So it's a 210 run. So not as grandiose as some of the other ones, but it's still right along there. But it's a 210 run, but more importantly, it's an OE run. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. So Plum made 21 a share, and that's 50-50. So 105 to DeGaulle and 105 to Plum. So he did get $105. And he's going to buy the 2 trains from Bell. For all of his cash. Okay, so RCP and Plum both did their runs. All right, next is us, BHB. We're sitting on 120 needed. I think we were able to get our 3 train. We were, so we're in business. So now we just need to figure out what to do. Now, if I want to lay track or put a token in England, I have to pay per sea zone. It can be pretty pricey. If I can somehow link up to this track, I can actually get into England through that, but then I'm blocked in London, as you can see. I do have a Star Harbor. Star Harbor lets me put a token in a port for free. But once again, London is where I want to go. Haven't been able to figure out how to get there. So I'm still working that. London is quite full right now. Berlin, on the other hand, I have, but I can't go through it yet. So I'm limited there. We just talked about how there's no upgrades to double whistle stops anymore, so can't upgrade that. So BHB, as far as track laying goes, doesn't have a lot of options. I really don't want to ever create a government in Prussia, so I'm not going to try to help a government in Prussia at all. So I'm not interested in that either. I do have a 3+3 and a 2+2, and that's also a problem. So, but what I think I can do is I'm going to try to buy, I want to buy a North Seas token, but I can't. Don't have enough money. So I can't do that. So I have to figure out how is this 3+3 and 2+2 going to run in my situation where my only port is in the German Bight. That is a problem. And let me see here. Because this port belongs to Copenhagen. That port belongs to Copenhagen. That one belongs to Hamburg, and that's it. So, yes, I'm in this sea zone, but I need one other sea zone to be able to connect to anything. I'm connected to Berlin, but I can't go through it. So I'm literally only connected to 2 cities right now, and they have a 3+3 and a 2+2. That is my pickle. I can spend $3 to connect to Cologne there. That's not a bad idea. I do have the $30, so it's not like there's been worse things that I've had to do. And then if I somehow swing down to this, I can actually get all the way into Vienna. So that would be $60 though, because I'd have to go through Cologne and then another $30. So that's $60. Do I have that? 25, 35, 45, 55. For all my money, I can do that. It's probably not the worst idea in the world. So let me figure out the track points here, and I probably will spend the $60. If anything, I just need to do it so I can have places to run my train. So that would be 1, 2, 3 track points. And then I would spend 2 more to upgrade this to green, because that only makes sense. Okay, and then I have 1 left, and I don't think I can. Well, can I track a? I can't. See, I can't trace a path through Vienna. I get stuck in Vienna because I can't go past SB. So I was thinking I could lay track like way down here, but I can't. Okay, so, but now I have a 2 plus 2 and a 3 plus 3. So with my 2 plus 2, I can go from Berlin to BHB, and that's 100. No whistle stops. Okay. Then from BHB, I can get another 40 plus 40 for the next Y city plus 40 for the next Y city. And then there's easily 3 whistle stops there. So I can add 3 whistle stops, and that's $2.50, $25 a share. I happen to have 3 shares, so $75 for me. I'm actually hurting in the money department compared to the other players. $75 for me. $175 for him. I'm very pleased about that because he just spent 60. But to get 175 of it back is very good. Okay, so 20, 30, 40, that's $50. And that's 100, 200, that's 300. Still not very impressive. I'm only at $400. I mean, there's people at $600. So, I think some of it though is I still haven't run all my companies, but yeah. Okay. So the good news is I ran BHB and it moves up, and it didn't make the mistake as before. I already have a 3 train, so I'm already happy. I didn't necessarily need BHB to do an OE run, so wasn't worried about that. I finally have some decent routes up. I do want to figure out how to get into London, but beyond that, I'm happy with BHB, and it ran for a decent amount, so we're going to be done with that. GSWR is next. GSWR only has a 2 train. It's going to it can spend track points, so it will. So there's 2 of the track points. Four. Five. 6. And that's largely, I don't want to spend any money, and I'm just trying to lay track and connect as many things that don't cost money. Obviously, when something becomes a government, then you can just plow through anything and it costs free. So, anyways, GSWR is an interesting pickle. It only has a 2 plus 2, but it doesn't need that much money. I think it needs $110 to be able to make a profit. It's sitting in London, but it's in the northern side of London, so it can go from London to Birmingham for $110, and then $10 for $130. So it's running for $130. 13 a share. He only has the president's share, so $26 goes to Wellington, and then 13 times 8, $104 goes to GSWR, and that alone is getting him a 2 train. Well, not that alone, but that is getting him the boost he needs. So there it is, 100, 200, 25. I think I owed $1 and change because of the way I played this. So So 3 train for GSWR, which is good. There's still actually 4 3 trains left. I mean, that's pretty crazy. But GSWR does get his 3 train, and that's very, very good for him. And he got some decent money. So not bad. I mean, GSWR is doing fine. He also hit his number. He only needed 110. SB, we're next. Actually, we're next twice. So SB is us. DSJ is hurting, so we got to get a train for him. So thankfully, there's still trains left. SB, it's plow time. Let's see if I can get an OE run here. So we're going to go straight. This is 1, 2, 3. That's $30. 4, 5. I don't have enough to make it to Constantinople any other way. So there is going to be a -1 here, but I'm not done yet. So $30 for the plowing through the marshlands. So then next, I still have a $20 token to lay. So I'm going to lay a $20 token, and I'm going to do it right here in Constantinople. So I have to pay a ferry cost because I'm going over a ferry. And that cost, you can see, is by ferry, it's $20. So $20 for the token, and then $20 more for the penalty, to go over the ferry. So I'm going to pay $100 here and get 60 back. That's money well spent. Because now what that means is, with me having this token here, I don't have to pay that -1 penalty anymore. And here's what's even crazier: there's a $20 whistle stop. So I'm actually getting a $20 whistle stop from it. Now, I would love to put a track in Constantinople, but that costs 2 points. I only have 1 point left, if you were keeping track. So I only have 1 track point left. I don't see anything else I predominantly want to do. And so let's see if I can actually get an OE run. I have a 5+5. So Constantinople would be 1. This is 2. That's 3. That's 4. And then 5 is Berlin. Just enough. Wow. Okay. So Berlin is $60. Then it's 40 for the Y city in Praha, Czechoslovakia, and then 50 for Vienna, and then 40 for the D city, and then 20 for Constantinople. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is a $30 bonus for Constantinople. There is a $20 whistle stop. And then there is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's easily 4 other whistle stops along the way at $10 each. So that's a $300 run. And that is going to get me some money. $300 run. I have 4 shares. So obviously I'm going to get $120. So that helps. And then the company itself is going to get 180. Which also helps a lot. Okay, more importantly, we're getting an OE bump. So it's going to bump 1, and then it's going to bump 1, 2, 3 more for the OE bump. Okay, so here's what's super duper crazy. We're now here, and I'm going to sell shares of the company, but I need to figure out the order. So we buy trains first, and then we sell shares. So I can buy a train from another one of my companies, but the selling shares comes after that. So I'm not going to do that yet. I'm not going to buy trains from another company, but I'm going to sell all my shares. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shares of SB is going into the market. And that's 6 shares at $135 a share. So 6 times 135, that's $810. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, $810. Sitting right there on SB. Okay. For the 2 of you that are still watching this video, because I know there's not a lot of people who care about 18XX, but for those of you that are watching and are maybe new to this or learning, this is a significant learning point for you, and this is how I beat people in this game. This exact strategy was not circumstantial. It was by design, and it's very eloquent, and it takes a lot. But here's the thing. Starting a company in these low zones here, these 2 zones, so $75 and $80, which is $60 a share or $65. Those are considered cheap companies, and you'll have players, oh, I'm so upset I have to start something so low. If you can get an OE run, like I just did, and you get the 4 stock bump, you end up what's on a shelf, that's what that's called, and then you sell all your shares. If I can get my turn to come back again before somebody buys that 4 train, right? I can buy a train from another company and give them $810 for their 2 train. So I'm going to buy, this company is going to become a government, right? So I'm going to give them all my money, all $810, so I can buy their 2 trains that are going to rust in like 2 turns. And when I do that and give them all my money, I'm going to get 2 trains from them. And you may be thinking, but you just sold all your shares. When you become a government, guess what happens to your shares? They go there anyways. So I just got all this money, but now I need another turn. And this is the tricky part. I may not pull it off, but if I get another turn, I'm going to give this $810 to DSJ or BHB, and $810 is an amazing, insane amount of money, and it's all going to just go to them. And that is amazing. Now, I go pretty late in the turn order, but because I did my OE run, I do not go late in the turn order anymore. So if you look here, RCP is going first, Plum's going second at 180. That's 150, so that stack is going to go, okay? But then you have 135, 135, and 135. Guess which one goes first? I do. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go 6th next round. It's possible that 3 trains will be bought up and one of them is going to buy the 4 train. It's very possible. But there's a good chance that I might get to go. And I had to buy trains before I could sell my shares. So I sold my shares and I got this giant mammoth amount of money. And so now I just need one more turn so I can take this amount of money and just give it to somebody. And that's the part where you get giddy and excited. But I will tell you, if you're playing a player versus player, they're going to see that and they're going to try their damnedest to not let you. So anyways, and I'm actually going to be hurting myself because DSJ needs to buy a 3 train. So guess what he's going to do? He's going to take one of those 3 trains off the board. These 2 companies are ready to buy 3 trains. So they could ruin my day. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to probably have to merge them so that way they don't buy 3 trains next round. So that's part of the trick. Okay, DSJ is up, and I'm in the same boat where I need to buy a 3-train, and I'm trying not to lay track, which costs money. I'm trying not to lay tokens, which cost money. And you can see here I have 150 and some change. So I'm not doing fantastic. The only good news is I only own 2 shares of DSJ. So with DSJ, I'm running for 60 plus 40 plus 20. I didn't even need to do that. It's a 120 run. So for 120, I'm going to get 24 bucks. So I'm going to take 25, put 1 back. And then 24 times 8 is 192. No, not 24 times 8. 12 times 8 is 96. So Let's see how we're doing here. Not a lot of money, but I did just add some decent bling. So 50, 150, 200, 225. I did it. Okay. And that of course hurts me because the more 3-trains I leave on the board, the slower this will rust. But I need a 3-train with DSJ. If worse comes to worse, and somebody buys a 4-train and the 2 trains melt, I just won't go to government with all that cash sitting there. I'll just go until the 3 trains melt, and then I'll become a government. But I'm not going to let $800 just go. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. Okay, so DSJ ran, it finally got its 3-train, which means it does need to lay track now, and it can't keep complaining it doesn't have any money, but it'll move up because he has plenty of room, and MSP is up, and this is the Russia hour, so I'm going to put something here so this will sit up. There we go. Maybe, I don't know how long that'll hold, but there you can see a little bit better. MSP is first. Let's go assess the situation. MSP has just a 2-train and that's it. Well, he's going to be buying a 3-train. So MSP is going to run for 120. That's easy. Got to think about track here. There's one. Five. Six. All right, he still runs for 120. I was just laying the track just to lay it. Only 2 shares of MSP are owned. So 25 for him. It's the same thing. So $96 for MSP. And I'm just seeing if MSP has money for a 3-train. He's in trouble if he doesn't. 100, 200, 25. Yeah, he had He had enough. So he is buying a 3 train. So there's only 2 left. See, it is trickling. And when the 4 train's available, those companies that have a lot of money but didn't buy a train, they will buy a 4 train. They're just not willing to buy a 3. So that 4 train will probably be bought before I get to go. So that's unfortunate. It'd be nice to have a government right away, but I mean, it's possible DSJ could be a government right away, but I don't know if I want to do that. Okay, so MSP made its number and went up. Lizard is next. Again, we have 6 track points, don't know what to do with them. You can just keep upgrading whistle stops and stuff. Well, and then they also have they have discounts, they have extra track points, but Lizard's the one that has the swamp. Lizard wants to do an OE run. That's what he wants to do. Lizard has 2 2+2 trains. That's right. And I believe he didn't have enough money to buy. Yeah, he's $5 short from being able to buy a token. So we're going to do the same thing. Let's get him some money. So there's, move this to the right. Yeah, knew that was going to happen. Okay, so after cleaning up my mess, this is $80 in cash. This is a $45. This is a $45 spot. He has the half off thing, so that would be basically he would only pay 22 bucks. So yeah, he's gonna do it. He'll pay 22 bucks to put that there for 1. And then he's going to put both of these down for 2 and 3 and get 80 bucks. So 2, 3. Okay, and then he's going to spend 4 and 5 to upgrade this. Like that, because nobody wants to go into those cities. And then spend his last point there. Okay, so he had to spend 22 and he got 40. So that means he's getting a net of 18. And that means he has enough to buy a token. And that was the big thing. So that's 125 bucks. So I'm just going over to buy. Oh no, he already bought the token. Never mind. I didn't need to do any of that. He already has the token. So that's crazy. I spent all that for nothing. I remember now, he didn't buy the 3 train because he wanted to buy the token instead of the 3 train. So okay, so with a 2+2, he's going to run from St. Petersburg for 50, Moscow for 50, that's 2, then 40 for Sevastopol, and then 20 for Constantinople, plus the $30 Constantinople bonus, and then $40 in whistle stops. So I got $230 for his run, and that's just two plus two trains. So for Lizard, he owns half of it. So the company's company and him are both going to get 115. So 115 for Mr. Tchaikovsky, who really doesn't have all that much money. And then 115 for Lizard. And Lizard has enough for a 3 train. Or he can just buy from other companies. Problem is those other companies go next. So I don't know if he wants to do that, because he's taken away from their revenue. He's going to do both. So here's the money he has. This is $225 for a 3 train. Then he has that left over. He's going to become a national. We know he is. So he's going to give this money to MSP and buy the 2 train from MSP, because MSP is already gone. And that 2 train probably won't be there by the time MSP goes again. So he's giving all that money to MSP and taking this 2 train from MSP, and then he's going to buy a 3 train as well. And in doing all of that, he will have 4 trains, which he's allowed to have. And if he becomes a national, he'll be allowed to keep. So he'll be ready to go national. All right, so that's a good run for Lizard, and he also did an OE run. So now here's the crazy part. Lizard's gonna go bump 1 and then 1, 2, 3 for the OE run, and if I were to sell his shares, he's not on a shelf. So that's unfortunate, but the OE run is still very nice. It gives him a nice bump, and it's going to make that stock actually worth something at the end of the game versus being worth crap. So nice job with the OE run there, and I think that's it for Lizard. So next up is WW, and WW, we get the same problem. There's 6 track points, and what do? I think WW is going to start this, get this finished. And that one is going to cost $30 with a discount. WW actually gets 2 extra track points. And he has some money, not a lot. Lizard Okay, WW is one of the ones that he's probably going to keep as a company. So how much of WW's money do we want to spend plowing through terrain? I guess that's the question that's on the table. See, there's some water terrain here. He's going to go through. He already paid $30. Let me pay that now before I forget. He has about maybe $100 to spend. And do we really want to spend it on terrain? That's the question. And I don't know what the answer is, to be quite honest. Spent 3. He can at least upgrade this Y city here. So we're going to upgrade to Warsaw for 5. And then, you know, does he keep plowing or what should he do? Guess we'll maybe spread it evenly. That's going to be 45. That's going to be $36. And that'll be the last track point. I mean, he had the money. He still has about $70 left. So it hurt him a little, but he at least made a dent. Because they all need to get their OE runs in. And going through the C zones are not necessarily the easiest path. Okay, so WW has a 3+3 and 2 2+2s. So if you look up here, WW is sitting there in Kharkov and nowhere else except for Warsaw. So if I'm going to do a 3+3 and 2 2+2s, I'm either doing an OE run, because then I can combine them together, and I can't because I didn't finish my path, or I'm going to have to go through those 2 tokens 3 times. The 2 tokens 3 times is pretty easy. So I can do, for example, Warsaw to that MKV token for one of my 2 trains. I can do Kharkov to Moscow and then to there for my 3 train. And then for my 2 train, I can go from Kharkov to MKV spot. I just went and get a whistle stop. So that's fine. It's really hard to get all those whistle stops in when you have 3 trains. So 40 plus 40 plus 20. That's for the 2 train. Then 80 for the other 2 train. And then 100 for Moscow and St. Petersburg. And then 40 for Kharkov. And then 30 for the whistle stops. That's a 350 run. I am okay with that. So 35 times 3, 105 for Tchaikovsky, and 245 for WW. So here's what's happening. The 2 trains haven't melted, and these companies are enjoying having like 3 trains in their arsenal, right? The 3+3 and the 2 2+2s. So they're making big time money, and then they're refusing to buy another 3 train because they know the 3s are going to be moving to a 4 soon. So they're stockpiling big cash. And what's going to happen is as soon as the 4 train is bought and the 2 trains are melted, we're going to have a mad rush on 4s and even 5s because everybody's going to have all this cash. So the trains are just going to go super fast. We're going to like slingshot through this game. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Okay, so WW ran, it collected a ton of cash, and we're not going to spend any of it on a 3 train. So it moves up. Now MKV is up, and MKV also has a 3 train and a 2 train, just those, doesn't have a second 2 train. MKV, as you may remember, is in Moscow and there. They get 6 track points. So MKV is going to plow. And we're no longer in Russia, so we don't get the discounts anymore. So that's $30 for 1. Here's 2. and 3. So technically speaking, they can get there, but they want to keep going. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this would be 5, 6. So they'll come through and then they'll just keep going. All right, so I think I said it was $30. Yep. So MKV will pay $30. All right, and then MKV is a 3 plus 3 and a 2 plus 2. 1, 2. Technically speaking, they can get to Constantinople, but there's that -1, so that hurts. So he's not going to do his OE run just yet. Oh yeah, he's got a good run. So we're going to do, if you remember, he has that token up there in Norway, so he's in great shape. So that's 50 for Norway. Sorry, this camera is just 50 for Norway, and then 40 for whatever that is, Finland, and then 20 for the whistle stops. Then he can do St. Petersburg, Moscow, and then just pick any of the $40 cities for his 3 train, and he definitely has 3 along the way. So 28 a share for MKV, and he only has 3 shares of that. 50. And then the company is going to get $161. Yeah, see, I mean, they're just stockpiling the money now. So MKV is getting $161. And I just realized I took money from the wrong company. So I took money from SFAI. So I fixed that. And actually MKV has another 2 plus 2 train because I was looking at SFAI instead of MKV. So there's another 2 plus 2 train out here. And also, these upgrades only cost 1 point because he has the G company. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4. He can play 2 more track. So we can go 5 and 6. And get another $30 out. So I'll go ahead and take care of that. And he has another 2 train he needs to run. So yeah, that's another $100. So I'm just gonna, and what it would be is it'd be that 40, and then just 2 whistle stops along the way. Okay, so 30 shares, so $30 and then $70 for MKV. Okay, MKV moves up. And then last but not least is MZA, although MZA is quite pathetic right now. But MZA has 6 track points. And it'll do two there. And two there. Sorry. So what he did was he put in a bypass. So we can go through Portugal and around, or we could just skip Portugal altogether and get all the way down here and get all these whistle stops. So so what that allows MZA to do is MZA can go, he can't necessarily go to Madrid, but he can, you know, go from this red zone, or he can go from here all the way to that red zone and then get whistle stops along the way. And MZA only has a 2+2 train, so that's 80. That's normally 100, but there's a $20 whistle stop here, so it'll be 110. And so we're gonna do that for 11 bucks, and Trump only has 2 shares, so he'll get 22. And 88 for MZA, which is a big help because I think MZA needs it so he can finally buy the last 3 train. And that means that the 4 train is going to go right away, and SB is not going to be able to get rid of that money. So yeah, so there's 100, 225. So he's at least able to get his 3 train, which was important for MZA. I think that's the last major company. I don't think there's a major company out there that did not get a 3 train, which is pretty impressive. Usually there's one that doesn't, but that's because the miners take them. You know, in this case, only a couple miners actually got the 3 train, and so that helps. And I think the other factor is you're watching me play everybody. And since it's my priority when I play this game, I've made it my priority even when I'm playing as these AI players. So I think some of this is because you're seeing me play against myself. That's the reason why everybody's doing so well and getting a 3 train, even if it's down to the wire. I guarantee you the game I play on Sunday, somebody's going to get screwed. And they won't be ready and they won't have the stuff they need. So anyways, I'm at 1 hour 37, so I'm going to go ahead and stop. We are at the stock market phase, and a lot of money in cash is in everybody's hands. There you can see I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 500, maybe 600 and change. But you can see some of these guys have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $700 and change. So I don't have as much as some of these other people. So that's unfortunate. This mountain of cash means that I'm not going to go national, and there's going to be repercussions there. But I'll just go national later. It sucks to go later because the earlier you go, the more money you make off of your national. But I don't know if I can give up. I mean, when you go national, you lose all your cash, and I mean, just look at this cash. If anything, I want to go around where even if I don't give that cash to someone else, I buy trains with this. I'm going to buy 4 trains and then go national with the 4 trains, you know, or something. So anyways, these 2 companies are poised to do well, but I need to get cash into them. So guess which ones I'm going to be buying shares of? These 2. I'm probably not going to buy any more shares of SB for now. I only have 4 shares of SB, so I still have room to buy 2 more. But at the moment, they are lower priority because if I buy shares of SB, it just goes to the bank. Whereas here, it's going to the company and helping my companies to grow. And I need my companies to grow. I think that's where I'm at. I also think I have to do some mergers because as you can see, all the 3 trains are gone. And if I leave my miners in the game, I don't think they're going to survive. As soon as the 2s melt, they won't be able to run anymore. And I don't think I'm going to be able to afford a 4 train. I mean, this guy only has 150 bucks, 165 bucks. A 4 train is 350. So no way either of these are going to survive. So they both need to merge. And you're going to find that a lot of that's going to happen. So anyways, Thanks for watching. Stay awesome. And I think that's it for this Friday. It's actually very late, probably early Saturday morning, and going to get some rest, and I will get some more uploaded tomorrow. And thank you all so much.